The Los Angeles Live Score Film Festival presents independent films with original soundtracks performed live by Helix Collective at the screening.
There's a ton to gain from it, just from all the participants from the composer's side of the festival. They operate on a very high level.
I was very, very fortunate to have Natha as my composer. It was like a match made in heaven because, again, big Sam Raimi fan. And she had just did the violin for Drag Me to Hell, which is Sam Raimi's film. So when I mentioned Sam Raimi and then that Phil, then we just were in sync, and then we started just bouncing ideas.
It was just like, okay, well, I think I know where we're going with this. I'm gonna just be able to use the instruments so much because horror has the advantage of having pretty much no limit to what you can do.
When we got accepted to the festival, I was really asking around, like, hey, what should I expect at a spotting session, or exactly what are we gonna do there?
That was my biggest fear.
I wanted to learn from Marco just as much as I wanted to learn from any instructor that I've had.
I strongly believe in the idea that it is very helpful that there is no temp music. The best spotting sessions that I had is where we sit and talk about what do we want the audience to feel in this scene.
So this whole process, the film festival and meeting with the composer and doing spotting session and talking about music and film together really changed the way that I looked at editing, at choosing the right music when music comes in.
The way I look at it with the temp music, it helps paint the idea, but with a composed track, that's like the tuxedo to the film. You know, it's custom fitted, it works.
I'd heard the score without the live instruments probably 20 or 30 times. To hear it come out of the live instruments was pretty incredible. It was really, really cool.
We get all spoiled because we get to work with professionals from the world of scoring in LA, which by definition is the best musicians in the world for live performance.
It was amazing. Seeing the level of focus and the level of passion was just amazing, and just hearing everything and seeing how everyone works like a fine-tuned machine was just impressive. And I was just like, this is where I gotta be. Like,
it gives you a clear sense of how much the real life of musicians versus computer-generated score can add to the expressiveness of a movie. The moment you have to consider musicians, it's the same moment where you start having limitations. On a computer-generated score, you have an unlimited palette of possible sounds, so you can always use everything. And in that way, you don't get to elect a specific palette for that movie that makes it unique.
Felt like every musician had fun playing it. I get even more emotional when there is a live performance because it just feels like the musicians want to be part of what's going on.
What you get out of the festival screening itself is this moment to notice how much the music contributes and how the two of you coming together have found a way to bring out the themes and the emotions and the life of a film with this music.
It was cool. It was really cool. Definitely cement. Now when I'm writing or when I'm directing or when I'm editing, I'm thinking about that relationship before you even start your filmmaking process. Like, it becomes a very important storytelling element.
Right now I have a film that I'm really passionate about, and now I'm doing that budgeting, And I'm definitely, from this experience, making sure I have the money for the post, for the music.
We're looking for student films about 10 minutes or under. They can be any genre. You get a really high level of composer. You'll have a spotting session with your composer, and then that soundtrack will be performed live at the festival screening. You will also get a recording of the final soundtrack.